Hello friends, how are you? How's things? How's life? How's your world? I hope all is well. Everything here is good. However, we brought the pedal board back out. Let's talk pedals today. Because the last time I brought this pedal board out, and I got it set up this way with the new battalion, the bass clone, and the bass balls, I said this was like the final form of this pedal board. Because this selection of pedals is like all the tone I would need, all the options I would possibly need. Our friend California Chris suggested that I needed a bigger pedal board, and I said, nah, this is it. This is the pedal board. And that's no longer true. Well, maybe. No, it's no longer true. It's definitely no longer true. I either need to sacrifice some of these pedals in place of some other things, or I need a bigger pedal board. And I'm not sure which is the best option at this point, so I wanted to bring it out and talk about it. Right now, on my pedal board, I have Peterson Strobo Stomp HD. It's a tuner pedal with a mute button, so you can mute your signal when you don't want people hearing you tune. I have the Electro-Harmonix Bass Balls Dynamic Filter. This is that womp, 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 womp weird funk sound. I love this little pedal. Very cool sounds. And it has this really cool distortion switch. What turns it on, it almost sounds like a vocoder. You remember like that weird talk box sound that they had in the 80s? You can kind of get that sound out of here, but with the bass. Bass compressor that I built based on the engineer's thumb, modified for bass. Electro-Harmonix Bass Clone, chorus pedal. Friggin' love this thing. And the bass Electro-Harmonix Battalion preamp and DI. So when I built this was intended to be like, this is what I need for the music that I'm playing. The music that I'm playing was jazz, and this was a good selection of things for that. In fact, I think for the jazz thing, the only thing I would ever possibly need for that would be the tuner and maybe the DI. Like I could probably just get away with just a tuner for that gig and not have anything else. But the rest of this is color, or I used this guy, this compressor that I built as a sustainer to get some really fat, long tail whole notes. So that was what this was for. So then I got these two guys. I love the bass clone. I got the Battalion because the country gig that I might be playing in this year, I'm not sure yet, is strictly PA. There's no backline, so no on-stage amplifiers at all. And so I needed a good DI box. I had a DI in this pedal, but the Battalion offered a little bit better options tonally for me for that kind of music, for country music. So I went with the Battalion. So I thought this was kind of a good general rock, country, jazz-y, funk-y pedal board that would be universal for everything I would want to do. However, I mentioned recently that I have potentially a new project coming up. I believe that new project is greenlit. I mean, we have talked as a group. There is a full group of people. And so I think that in the very near future, I am founding or being one of the founders of a metal band here that is, metalcore would be the genre that we're aiming towards. Metalcore is the kind of mid-aughts, mid-2000s, mid-10s, around that era metal that was like, you could call it emo, I guess, but we're leaning more towards like the hardcore side than the emo, whiny bitch side. Like I never really liked the whiny emo stuff, the screamo stuff, not my thing. But metalcore is the like screaming, noisy, like crazy verses with slow breakdowns and melodic choruses, and so it kind of bridges, it jumps back and forth between that just driving, brutal, heavy sound to like a more melodic tone and vocal, singing and stuff. So with metal, I need to change this. Metal needs fuzz. The Battalion has an overdrive in it, and the overdrive is kind of fuzzy, but this is the metal tone right here. This is the Electro-Harmonix. For whatever reason, I have a love relationship with Electro-Harmonix right now. This is the Electro-Harmonix Deluxe Bass Big Muff. This is like the fuzz. Well, the Big Muff is the fuzz. This pedal actually makes that fuzz a little bit shapeable, meaning that it has a crossover, it has a 2-band EQ, it has a low pass and a high pass filter for that crossover, and a blend knob so that you can control how much dry signal you get, which is extremely important. One of the reasons that you kind of don't hear bass a lot in heavy music like that is that the fuzz pedals typically don't have this blend knob, and so you lose all of the low end of the bass, and it just turns into fuzz. It just turns into that higher frequency noise instead of retaining any of that low end. This pedal has the ability to keep that low end, so I can keep driving it. So this needs to be on here. And I think that you can probably see that there's no space for this on here. I could maybe turn these two guys sideways and stack them and then make room somehow, but I don't think so. I think that this takes up the space of one of these little guys and the comp, or both of these little guys, which is fine. Like, for the metal gig, I don't need a filter. There are times when it could be useful, but I don't need it. I don't need the clone. There are times when it could be useful, but I don't need it. I need the compressor, and I need the dirt. But this is metal we're talking about, and this is like metalcore, which leans almost into like djenty shoegaze. And so options and tones and weird sounds are the norm for this kind of music. And so I think Chris is right. I do need a bigger pedal board. I think I need to bring the synth back. I think I need to have this, and I need to have these. I need to have all of this. I need to have this, and maybe, let's get crazy here, maybe a reverb on top. So I do need another pedal board, or a bigger pedal board. So I'm in a bit of a conundrum, a bit of a cross here. This, I thought, when I built this, I literally had these two oak slats laying around that were this length, and I was like, oh, those are kind of perfect for 5 pedals if you include like a normal, either the EHX DIs or like a Sans amp, they're this big, then I'd still have room for 4 more pedals. So I used those just as they were. I didn't cut them down or anything, which is great. It's a great little pedal board. Most like pre-manufactured pedal boards are about 4 inches shorter than this, so it'd be this size, which is fine, because then I would stack these guys up here, and that would be perfect. Move this tuner up or whatever. Here's the other thing. When I think about this whole process, typically I have this set up so that the filter comes before the compressor. This means that the filter is getting all the dynamics. That's really important. Compressor takes away dynamics. The filter reacts to dynamics, so it needs to come first. But fuzz needs to come before everything. Like, it needs to be over here. So signal path is an issue when I lay this whole thing out. So I guess what I have to figure out now is, do I make another pedal board and I cut it, make it this big and stack? Do I buy one of the pre-builts? And how do I power everything? Because right now, you probably can't see it. In here is a little MXR mini ISO brick. This only has 5 outputs. So right now it's tapped out. It's managing these 5 pedals. I could split some of these. Like, for instance, the tuner pedal could be split because this is never on when everything else is on. This is only on by itself. So it's not going to hurt anything if I split it with, say, the baseballs or something like that. So I could add a 6th pedal in here with this power supply and be fine. Could probably add a 7th. These things don't draw a ton of current, so if I put some of the lower current effects on a split circuit, it'd be fine. But ultimately, I think what I need to do is buy one of the like 7 or 8 or 10 output power supplies and build a bigger pedal board. I don't know. I haven't decided. I put everything on my Amazon wish list, so there's like pedal boards on my wish list, there's power supplies on my wish list, there's tons of other pedals because I'm interested in other noises. But I think what I'm going to do for our first like get together jam rehearsal as the metal thing is I'm going to take off the clone and the filter and possibly even the compressor. There's a compressor here, but ultimately for a good good fuzz sound, the compressor should be before the fuzz. It should really drive the fuzz. It really makes a difference. I've tried these things. I've flipped these things around and tried them. And like I said, you should have the fuzz before the clone, before the chorus pedal, because the chorus affects the fuzz in a weird way. And I actually don't mind it. In fact, if you think about like back in the day, if this chorus pedal had come out when fuzz and overdrive was basically a circuit in your amp, you would be using this before the fuzz anyway. And so it just provides a different sound. It's a little bit weird as opposed to this first going into this, which is part of the issue here. This overdrive is okay. It's not a metal sound. It's more of a hard rock sound. And having the chorus before it is a bit weird. But there's really no other way to rig this thing up. This doesn't have an effects loop or something. So I'm a little bit like, I don't know what to do. Do I build my own pedal board? Another one? I mean, I have plenty of material to do that. I don't have a good reason to not build my own pedal board. I mean, it's practically free. I already own all of the stuff to do it. The big thing is buying a power supply. One of the like really quality isolated power supplies that would supply power to 7 pedals is like $200, and that's a lot. When you could buy a pedal board that has a decent-ish power supply built into it for $100. I don't know which route I'm going to go. What I know is, at some point, this has to get on here before I go to my first rehearsal. And I'm going to play metal. And that's going to be awesome. Metal is much closer to my heart. Metal is what I grew up on. I'm a hair metal kid. Industrial metal. Just metal in general. All forms. Nu metal even. Much closer to my heart than either jazz or country. But I found through playing jazz and country, I absolutely love those styles of music, and I love playing them. They're really fun to play. So it's all the same to me. It's just music, and I want to play it. But I have to have the tools to play correctly. And this is the tool that I really need to have for the metal thing. And it might just be I take this by itself and nothing else. It's like, well, I have this for right now. Like, I don't necessarily have to take this whole thing. I don't know what to do. Do I rebuild the whole thing? Do I swap this in for the metal thing and say, screw it, I don't need these other things? I don't know yet. I think part of it is going to be, we need to learn what we're going to be playing and what we want to hear first, and then I can figure this whole thing out. Or I just build a new pedal board, buy a new power supply, and I have all of this available like I would like to have anyway. When I'm practicing, I could just have the whole thing set up and ready to go. And that's probably the better option. What do you think? Got any ideas? You want to buy me any very expensive pedal board gear off of Amazon? This stuff is, I mean, yeah, you get it. This is a lot of money sitting here. This is a lot of money sitting here. Like a ton of money sitting here. It's crazy to me. Okay, enough about that. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for putting up with me. If you have thoughts about this, how I should organize it, what comes first, what comes second, signal chain, what you would use for your metal band. Should I even keep the clone or the filter for metal, specifically like a metal core sound? You let me know. Put that down in the comments. While you're down there, please like the video. Please subscribe if you're new here. We're still trying to grow, and my videos are about kind of whatever I feel like talking about. So if you're down with that sort of thing, stick around. Come back tomorrow. I'll see you then. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. 12 choices your future self will thank you for. We're on number 2, appreciating what you have. Sometimes when you make the most out of what you have, it turns out to be a lot more than what you ever imagined. When you wake up, take a moment to think about what privilege it is to be simply alive and healthy. The moment you start acting like life is a blessing, it will start to feel like one. Yeah. Like I just said, this is a ridiculous amount of money sitting here. Like a ridiculous amount of money. And 5 years ago, the thought of buying these things. I mean, some of these were gifts, but that just was simply out of the question. I'm extremely thankful for what I have. That's important.